Yo, good evening, USA, International Canada, Canada, International, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, Queens. This is your man and homie, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, creator, host with the most, misunderstood, lonely nomad, unstoppable, independent podcaster, and of course, Queens, New York native, who is also a New York Mets fan from the neck of the woods of Laurelton, Queens, New York. And yes, you are now listening, streaming, watching the 352nd episode of Off the Meat Rack Chainz New York Avenue podcast, the comedy space for wild, crazy, fun topics and entertainment news, music news, including hip hop. There's also transit and other segments in between. I do apologize for the delay. Apparently my browser that I was previously using, DuckDuckGo, had crashed. So I had to restart my laptop and my Wi-Fi. So I do apologize for the long delay. So that's why I wanted to make sure that I redid this episode right here so I could drop it um, on my way back from work. So that's the reason why I'm redoing it. I didn't want to give you an incomplete episode because I didn't get to the other topics. So please forgive me for the browser crash and everything else in between. And yes, now that I got that out the way, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel page and and also be sure to enable alerts for more video podcast episodes and when I'll be on the air via live stream. Leave a like and a comment, and along with the topics being discussed, tell me how you feel about the topics in each of these episodes whatsoever, and I'll handle the rest at the end of this podcast recording. So, without further ado, I want to do a little I'm gonna do some recapping. Because I want to get to where I left off. So I'm gonna do a little recapping right here, um starting with the mental health check-in. Yeah, I'm gonna do a little recap actually from the previous topics that I talked about actually. So just bear with me here. All right. I'm gonna do a little recap of the mental health topic, which is nature and nurture, which is part of mental health, by the way. And so let me just skip all this right here. So we talked about adverse childhood experiences. We talked about the ordinary to extraordinary experiences, social media, climate change, um, COVID 19 slamdemic. Um, take it from here, the choices we make, and of course, actually, you know what? Look, I'll just get this over with actually. So the first article in this series covered the nature related factors that can influence mental health. Um, This article will focus on the nurture related factors. It is the interplay of the environmental conditions to which we are exposed, along with our genetic, psychological, and biological constitution, that gives rise to the unique attributes that make each human being different from another. These attributes influence the extent to which we may be challenged by mental health problems or develop a mental illness. Let's see. Um, Whether we thrive or not in life depends on the environments in which we are conceived, born, grow, learn, build a career and family, and age. The conditions and context of our lives, both social and physical, can either protect mental health or put it at risk. They can enable us to reach our highest potential or challenge us in ways that can leave us with troubles that can take a lifetime to heal. They shape our appreciation of life and what it may offer, including our values, morals, and worldviews. Our life experiences, however, are not definitive in their influence. People naturally respond to the same circumstances in different ways. What may be an experience of significance for one person may not be for another, related, at least in part, to the unique aspects of their genetic, psychological, and biological constitution, reflecting again the intersectionality of nature and nurture. Likewise, we each have a unique life story woven with its own players, plots, and subplots. Such novelty makes any response possible. The designs of our lives are unique and infinitely complex. Each person has a one of a kind life story with parts both enabling and challenging. Our childhood experiences so formative, the ordinary and extraordinary experiences of our lives, and the universally influential realities of social media, climate change, and the slandemic all can influence mental health. Each will be discussed. Yeah. So we talked about adverse childhood experiences and the types of categories, So this is let me see. So abuse, physical, emotional, and sexual neglect, emotional and physical and household dysfunction, divorce, mental illness, substance abuse, violence, and incarceration among caregivers. Um, and of course, although there is no national survey data on av- adverse childhood experiences in Canada, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports 61% of adults have at least one adverse childhood experience, and 16% have four or more types of categories of adverse childhood experiences. Women have higher overall adverse childhood experience scores than men. Um, damn, that's crazy. People who have experienced abuse, neglect, and household dysfunction during their childhood are at much greater risk of mental illness throughout life. There is a dose effect. The more categories of exposure a person experiences, the more likely he or she is to experience poor mental health, and alongside this, poor physical health, increased at risk behaviors, and early death. These outcomes are thought to be associated with the effects of toxic stress on healthy brain development, affecting the development of socio-cognitive skills, which in turn leads to poor choices in health habits and life decisions. Those with adverse childhood experiences have an increased risk for the incidence of anxiety disorders, depression, substance abuse, and suicidal Lati. Yeah, so the ordinary to extraordinary. Experiences of our lives that cause stress can impact us as well. It has long been recognized that stress plays a significant role in the development of mental disorders. A stressor can be thought of as a life event or series of events that disrupts psychological equilibrium, and in this may um, catalyze a mental disorder. Stresses can take the form of discrete events such as relationship breakups, car events, complications during pregnancy, a death in the family, or the loss of a job. Stresses can also be more chronic circumstances such as long term illness, ongoing marital problems, perpetual workplace troubles, unending financial difficulties, or wider difficulties such as political strife and war. Stresses can also be the daily hassles like keeping up with chores or meeting deadlines. Stressors as discrete events, chronic circumstances, and daily hassles can take their toll, causing stress that can culminate in a mental disorder. Social media, although social media can offer many benefits with the ability to connect with anyone, anywhere, and with many people at the same time, building relationships and sharing information, it can also adversely affect mental health. It can incite fear of missing out and unhealthy social comparison. Many studies have found a strong link between heavy social media use and an increase an increased risk for anxiety, depression, eating disorders, loneliness, self harm, and even suicide ideation. Cyberbullying is a real concern in the veterinary profession. A recent study by the American Veterinary Medical Association reported that 1 in 5 veterinarians has been a victim or works with someone who has been a victim of cyberbullying in the workplace. Incidents of cyberbullying can range from the posting of negative reviews to threats of financial, physical, and or emotional harm to veterinarians, their staff, and families. The stress of cyberbullying not only adds tension in the workplace as a dark hovering cloud, but can lead to depression and suicide. Climate change is one of the great challenges of our time since 2000. The frequency of climate change related weather disasters has soared by 46%. Rising temperatures, heat waves, floods, tornadoes, hurricanes, droughts, fires, loss of forests, and melting glaciers, along with the disappearance of rivers and desertification, can impact mental as well as physical health. Climate change can cause stress and distress, provoke high risk coping behaviors, um, such as increased alcohol use, and lead to anxiety, depression, post traumatic stress, and suicidal thoughts. Climate change can also affect mental health through the loss of jobs, social and community resources, and through forcing people to move. Among other populations that are especially vulnerable, those with pre existing mental health disorders are disproportionately affected by the consequences of climate change. Importantly, climate change can be experienced not only as a direct threat, but as a global or existential threat to civilization and ways of life. Awareness of the looming threats and impacts of climate change on the current and future well being of the earth and its inhabitants can negatively affect emotional and social well being. Climate change can contribute to several recently coined psychoteric syndromes: echo anxiety, echo paralysis, um, solastalgia, and biospheric concern. Echo anxiety refers to the anxiety people face from constantly being surrounded by the wicked and threatening problems associated with a changing climate. Echo paralysis refers to the complex feelings of not being able to take effective action to significantly mitigate climate change risk. Solastalgia refers to the distress and isolation caused by the gradual removal of solids from the present state of one's home environment. Excuse me. Lastly, biospirit concern refers to a type of stress that people feel when they see plants, animals, and ecosystems that are vulnerable. The COVID-19 pandemic has profoundly affected people around the globe, causing high levels of stress, this this distress, fear, anxiety, and insomnia, especially with the uncertainties accompanying a new disease, social distancing, and widespread lockdowns, which constrain people's ability to access support from loved ones, learn, work, and engage in their communities, added to the stress. These measures also led to feelings of isolation, loneliness, and for some, despair. On top of all this, has been the suffering with COVID related illness and deaths. To date, over 37,000 Canadians and 6 million worldwide have died due to COVID 19. According to a recent report by the World Health Organization, excuse me, there has been a 25% increase in the prevalence of anxiety and depression worldwide. Women have been more impacted than men, as well as those with pre existing health conditions such as asthma, cancer, and heart disease. Young people have especially been affected with a rise in the risk of self harming and suicidal behaviors. Across the globe, people are looking for hope and signs of brighter days ahead as they navigate the challenges in a now much more complicated world. Although many face job loss, others face greater demands, including those in the veterinary profession. Veterinary clinics around the world needed to implement new policies and procedures. Yes, procedures and let me see. Yeah, procedures in response to slandemic, including shifting to curbside care, practicing social distancing, intensifying sanitation measures, wearing personal protective equipment, and adopting new technologies such as viral check-ins, telemedicine, and contactless payment. Many clinics initially dealt with restrictions on elective services and at times had to limit the range and volume of services due to shortages or supply chain issues. Although the new ways of working reduced efficiently, the demand for care rose with reports of higher client numbers and earlier detection of health problems, along with the need to attend to a backlog of postponed care. According to the 2020 CVMA workforce study, the veterinary profession appears to be working at or above capacity, with a shortage of veterinarians and technicians identified as one of the key challenges faced by the profession. The stress of substantial workplace modifications, heavy demands, shortage of staff, and serving a stressed, anxious, and demanding clientele can predispose to burnout and or culminate in a mental disorder. Yeah, taking it from here, um, taking it from here. So, who are you in your world? What is it about you, meaning your genetics, psychological, and biological constitution, and your world, meaning your collective life experience that may be influencing your mental health? Your understanding of this is the pivotal first step to better mental health. Awareness, however, is not enough. It needs to be allied with acceptance. In any given moment, we can lean in and accept or deny and avoid. Acceptance requires open, full acknowledgement of what is with courage and authenticity. When we see with what is clear clarity, we will be able to see what we can do about it. As mental health is determined by the combination of an interaction between personal and environmental factors, you may presume that there are some things that we can't do anything about, like the hereditary predispositions that we are born with and the life experiences that have shaped us. These simply are right. After all, you can't trade in your brain for a different model. You can't rewrite history. So, what can you do? The answer is simple. It's not just what you were born with or what you experience that determines your mental health. It's about what you do with these. It's how you live your life, and how you live your life is a matter of choice. So the choices that we make, yeah, so that's pretty, yeah. So you may think it's the big decisions you've made over the course of your life that have shaped you into who you are today, what schools you went to, what vacation you chose, whether or who you married, whether you raised a family, how you grew your career, and the shifts you made to go in whole new directions. But in truth, it's just the opposite. It's all the thousands, if not tens of thousands of micro decisions we make every day, which we are often aware of, that most shape the course of our lives. These are seemingly inconsequential decisions made all the time that, in fact, are a profound influence. Indeed, it's the millions of micro decisions that pave the way for the macro decisions. The decisions you make add up to define how you live your life. To optimize your mental health begins with accepting that decisions matter, even and especially the decisions that you make every moment of every day. How do you live your life? How do No, excuse me. Do you maximize your health potential? What can you do to maximize it? The next and final article in this series will offer a range of strategies to do just that, especially those to counter the nature and nurture aspects that increase the risk of mental illness. Through awareness, acceptance, and then action, taking the right steps, we can each optimize our mental health. So there you go, right there. I'm gonna do a little recap of I'm gonna do a little recap of transit. So so this is from the nation. So I'm just going to so this is going to be the New York Mass Transit files right here. So we're gonna get into it here. So we previously had um the free bus pilot. So and that $2.90 is killing us all. That's Cicely Blatch, a bus rider in the Bronx, talking about how prohibitively expensive transit in New York City has become. Blatch is not alone. 1 in 5 New Yorkers in 2023 struggle to afford the $2.90 a ride, subway, and bus fares. Blatch rides the BX18 bus every day, sometimes multiple times a day. These trips accumulate and can break her budget. Public transit in New York wasn't always this way. In the past, it was cheaper, taking less of every dollar earned by New Yorkers. A ride didn't break $1 in inflation. Um, in inflation, um, adjusted dollars until 1948 and $2 until 1970, 66 years later, 66 years after the MTA's first subway opened. It was a lifeline, the thing that made New Yorkers live lives possible. Today, the cost of a ride is just one more example of a cost of living crisis. And for the average bus rider who makes less than $30,000 a year, this crisis is even more acute. That's exactly why we created the fare free bus pilot for New Yorkers. Yeah. Um, yeah, so a success story. We designed the Fare Free Bus Pilot to be a trailblazing program in which the MTA offered free service on 5 bus lines across New York City, one in each borough, including Blatch's BX18. The program lasted from September 24th, 2023 until this past Sunday, so serving nearly 50,000 weekly riders. Like similar fare free bus programs in Kansas City and Boston, the fare free pilot hoped to offer working class New Yorkers economic breathing room while also making their commutes safer. With the end of this pilot, one thing is clear: it was a resounding success. Um, 'em, where were we? Yes, the pilot firstly dramatically increased ridership across all 5 fare-free bus lines. The MTA reported a 30% increase in ridership on weekdays and 38% on weekends, with 23% of riders reporting that they made the trip because it was free. It also provided clear economic relief to low-income riders. The highest uptick in new riders was from individuals earning less than $28,000. Wow. Wow. 28,000. That's some crazy shit. 44% of riders took the free bus for errands and leisure, allowing them to more freely contribute to New York's economy. And for blacks, the fare free bus pilot gave her more freedom to pay for daily necessities. This means I'll take the bus more. I'll use this money to cover more bills. Safety in our public transit system has continued to be a chief concern for New Yorkers. Fare free buses also offer us a compelling answer on how to deliver safer public transit. Across the five routes we made, free assaults on bus operators dropped by 38.9%. This strongly mirrors what happened in Kansas City. After introducing fare free buses, security incidents dropped 39% from 2019 to 2020. By eliminating the fare box, riders did not need to interact with bus operators, interactions that were often the source of altercations. JP um, Patafio, a TWU Local 100 vice president who represents bus operators in Brooklyn, put it this way: the fare box is responsible for 50% of the assaults on my operators. Free bus service would make my bus operators' job much safer. The pilot had positive effects on the environment too. 11% of new riders used the bus instead of car or taxi they used prior, thus um, reducing citywide emissions. A paradigm shift. Far too often, crises, often self-imposed ones, warp our transportation policy decisions. The most recent example of this was Governor Kathy Hochul's decision to delay congestion pricing, throwing the MTA into a solvency crisis, which I previously talked about. Why I agree with Kathy Hochul's decision in pausing congestion pricing. Yet we cannot let public transit be trapped in endless cycles of financial emergencies. The MTA's strategic priority is to move New Yorkers where they need to go in a safe, reliable, and accessible way. As lawmakers, we must ask, how can we most effectively fulfill the MCA's mission? Fare free bus transit is one clear answer. Continuing to make buses free in New York is more attainable than you might believe. We can make all New York City buses free for just under $800 million, or $50 million less than the New York spent on new on the new Buffalo Bills stadium. Hmm. Okay. Um. Okay. One moment. All right. All right. Let me see. Where were we? Where the hell were we? Where were we? Yes. Um. As we approach New York's next budget cycle, which I'll talk about in a future episode, it is critically important to resolve the MCA's fiscal insolvency. Yet our task at hand is greater than this. It's time to go beyond the crisis fix crisis paradigm and make public transit work for all. So much of what we have been fighting for is exactly what the MCA itself wants: a system that moves millions of New Yorkers. While the fare free pilot is sunsetting, it showed us the true value of public transit as a public good, a transit system that can be safe, reliable, universally accessible. Um, the proof is in the numbers. Fare free service improved public transit by virtually all measures. Now it's time to make this a reality for every New Yorkers across the city. The city. Um, all right, so we talked about two train stations getting upgrades, which is the Jamaica Van Wyck and the Suffolk Boulevard, um Archer Avenue, JFK airport stations. So so actually when I looked at this, it was it was pretty good. Everything's all cleaned and stuff. It's just uh it's just a whole different story. The MTA announced on Sunday that transit crews have completed extensive functional and aesthetic upgrades at two of the busiest subway stations in Southeast Queens. The work at Sutton Boulevard, Archer Avenue, JFK, that serves the EJ and E the EJ and Z lines, and the Jamaica Van Wyck stations on the E line was part of NYC's Transit's Renovated program, which utilizes planned service outages to perform station-wide repairs, enhancements, and deep cleaning to provide commuters with brighter and better station environments. New York City Transit is working hard to ensure customers' journeys are pleasant and comfortable from the moment they enter a station, with brighter lights, fresh coats of paint, smoother platforms, and more. NYC Transit President Richard Davies said, "Renovation projects are essential to delivering on our promise of bringing faster, cleaner, safer service to riders across the transit system, and now in Southeast Queens." They can see that effort for themselves. At Sutton Boulevard, Archer Avenue, JFK Airport Station, crews scraped, primed, and painted over 10,000 square feet of the station, and more than 150 lights were converted to LEDs, upgrading the entire station with clearer and more energy efficient lights and that brighten darkened areas. Additionally, the subway staircase globes were replaced, concrete tripping hazards were repaired along the platforms, stairways were inspected and repaired where needed, and outdated signage was removed. At Jamaica Van Wyck Station, workers carried out a specialized cleaning operation, which included scrubbing platforms clean of outdated social distancing signage, washing and removing graffiti from track and station walls, and eliminating calcium deposits and water stains from the platforms. As a commuter myself, I'm thrilled about the completion of the renovations at Sutton Boulevard, Archer Avenue, JFK Airport, and Jamaica Van Wyck stations. Council member Natasha Williams said, "These enhancements will not only elevate the aesthetic appeal, but also improve functionality, making my daily commute smoother and more enjoyable." Workers at the workers at Jamaica Van Wyck Station also made extensive repairs to floor tiles, alleviating tripping hazards. Ceilings, station booths, and other surfaces were scraped, primed, and painted. Outdated signage, including legacy bus and subway maps, were removed. And New Americans with Disabilities Act signage was updated. New LED lights were installed, and platform benches were sanded and restrained. Our city's subway stations should be inviting and welcoming places that encourage New Yorkers to take mass transit. Queensborough President Donovan Richards said the much needed renovation work recently completed at the Jamaica Van Wyck and Sutton Boulevard, Archer Avenue, JFK Airport stations has made them much more pleasant places for riders to visit. Community Board non-district manager James McClellan applauded the MTA for work done at one of the stations. The Jamaica Van Wyck station area was a quality of life concern for elected officials, Jamaica Hospital, and residents for several years, McClellan said. We are extremely grateful to the MTA for an extensive station renovation, which has ameliorated many of our issues. State Senator Joseph Adablo Adabo said the upgrades at both stations will enhance the commuter experience. The completion of these functional and aesthetic improvements under the renovation program exemplified the commitment to providing brighter, safer, and more efficient transit environments for for the residents and visitors in New York City. Councilmember Lynn Shulman called the announcement fantastic news. These stations are vital to so many people and they deserve a pleasant experience. Shulman said, with deep cleaning and improvements to lighting and signage, the renovation work exemplifies the importance of providing New Yorkers with a safer and more welcoming environment for all travelers. All right. All right, let's see. Let's see. Is there any other hold on a second. Is there any other sorry about that. All right. All right. Let me see what else. Okay, so we can actually get into hold on. We could get into chatting all the jazz right here. We have a passing in the hip hop world, so we got to get into it right here. Um, oh boy. Just bear with me here. All right, we got a passing. I actually talked about this briefly. I'm gonna just talk about this briefly, actually. So, we have a passing in the hip hop world under Rich Homie Quan, who recently passed away, according to Double XL Mag, actually. So, let's get into it right here. Um, let's get into it right here. Yes, so some more details have come to light about the death of Atlanta rapper Rich Homie Quan. The release of a police incident report reveals the rapper's brother found him asleep on the floor with food in his mouth hours before his death. Um, Rich Homie Quan's brother found him on the floor with food in his mouth. On Monday, September 9th, the Atlanta Police Department shared an incident report that gives the accounts of Rich Homie Quan's girlfriend and brother, the last people to see the rapper alive on September 5th, the day he died. Rich Homie Quan's brother, Andre Munford, reportedly told police that Munford woke up around 3 a.m. and saw the rapper asleep on the floor by the kitchen with food in his mouth. His brother told the officer the scene was very unusual and he picked up Quan up off the floor and put him on the couch. Quan's girlfriend, Amber Williams, um, also gave an account to the police. She woke up at 6:45 a.m. to take her kids to school and saw Quan on the couch. When she returned, Quan was still on the couch and she went to their room and went back to bed. A- Around 11 a.m., she woke to find Quan still on the couch. When she went to check on him, she noticed his body was cold and he was not breathing, and she immediately called 911. Police was Police were called and Quan was transported to nearby Grady Hospital in Atlanta, where he was pronounced dead. Police saw no signs of foul play and determined no crime was committed. Um, Rich Homie Quan's death at the age of 34 sent a shockwave through the hip hop community. Reactions to his passing were shared across social media. Quan's girlfriend released a heartbreaking statement. Quan's father, Corey Lamar, has also commented on the tragic news. According to Quan's dad, the rapper was prepping a 25-song album before his passing. Rich Homie Quan's cause of death has yet to be determined, so it hasn't been revealed. So to be determined. So let's go on to something that's also crazy too, with traffic violence. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Let's go to the traffic violence. According to QNS, following a tragic work on Queen streets where three pedestrians, 43-year-old Natalia Garcia Valencia, 58-year-old Ali Alyssa Belair, and 8-year-old um, Bayron, Bayron Palomino Arroyo were fatally struck by unsafe drivers. Queens Borough President Donovan Richards announced that he has allocated $1.5 million in capital funding for street safety improvements on three of the borough's most dangerous roadways. Ah, that's crazy. That's a shame right there, man. That's a shame. All right. All right. Let me see. So Rich just made the announcement at 82nd Street and Astoria Boulevard in East Elmhurst on Monday morning, about a mile from where the 8-year-old boy was struck and killed by an impatient pickup truck driver from Flushing on March 13th, as he walked in the crosswalk at 31st Avenue and 101st Street with him, mother, and brother who were injured. Richards said there have already been 41 crashes with 30 injuries so far this year on Astoria Boulevard alone. So he has earmarked $500,000 for safety upgrades such as curve extensions, new crosswalks, bus bulbs, new sidewalks, median tip extensions, and left turn bays on Astoria Boulevard, along with $500,000 each to similar upgrades on Utopia Parkway and Beach Channel Drive. The combination of poorly designed streets and unsafe drivers threaten our families, so we must take action on both. That's what we're doing in Queens, starting with $1.5 million in funding I have allocated to make a trio of high trafficked borough streets safer for all, Richard said. We also need the state legislature to pass Sammy's law immediately. New York City, not Albany, should control speed limits on New York City streets. In the name of all those lost to traffic violence, we cannot wait any longer to act. Safer streets and lower speeds save lives. Hmm. On Friday afternoon, Richards joined lawmakers from across the borough, parents, children, and community groups at PS 110Q in East Elmhurst for an emergency children's march for safe streets. We, as adults and elected officials, have a responsibility to keep our kids safe, State Senator Jessica Ramos said. Our march made clear demands with one voice. We want Sammy's Law. We want scramble crosswalks, and we want at least one crossing guard at every school across the city. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one right there, man. That's gonna cost money too. How they gonna come up with that shit? Ramos noted that traffic violence has killed more than 100 children since Vision Zero was implemented a decade ago, and more than half of the children killed in the last 2 years were from Queens. Raul and Piro became a member of Families for Safe Streets after his 9-year-old son Giovanni was fatally struck in 2018 by an elderly driver on Northern Boulevard in Jackson Heights, Queens. The pain that traffic violence brings is something that no family should have to experience, and Piro said while holding up a photo of Bayron. Um, by implementing the requirements of the NYC Streets Plan, we can prevent crashes and bring New York City closer to achieving Vision Zero. He called on the Adams administration to fast track projects across all 5 boroughs. With bold action, we can stop traffic violence and build safe streets in all neighborhoods, Imperial said. Flushing has borne the brunt of pedestrian fatalities over the last decade, surpassing any other area in New York City. We have reached crisis levels of preventable traffic crashes, and we need to act now. Assemblymember Ron Kim said, "Our children are seemingly in harm's way anytime they approach a crosswalk." Kim attended the funeral of 3-year-old Quintus Chin, who was struck and killed by a hit and run driver on November 29th on College Point Boulevard. We cannot inflict any more pain and suffering on the families who are left picking up the pieces after their loved ones is gone, Kim said. Communities across Queens have lost neighbors in East Elmhurst, Masper, Sunnyside, and Bayside in just the past week. State Senator John Liu, a member of the Transportation Committee, said the legislature needs to pass Sammy's Law, which would allow New York City to lower the speed limit. As New Yorkers, we deserve the power to control our own speed limits because it's proven a way of curbing reckless driving, Lou said. For now, we grieve with the family of Bayron Palomino Arroyo, a young life full of promise and unfairly taken too soon. Let's pass the bill for Bayron, Sammy, Allison, Hope, Lyle, and the countless other innocent victims of traffic violence whose legacies live on in the advocacy of everyone here today, protecting the lives of New Yorkers for generations to come. In addition to passing Sammy's Law, advocates called for the Adams administration to restore funding for the nearly 500 crossing guards who were cut from the city budget. Each of these deaths is entirely preventable, and with the political will to change our streets, we can end traffic deaths. Transportation Alternatives Executive Director Danny Harris said, "Every single family in Queens and throughout the 5 boroughs deserve better, and we will fight alongside them until every street, every intersection, and every sidewalk is safe." Well, um, okay. So let's get into all right, so let's get into Jamie Foxx. Let's get into Jamie Foxx for a sec. So Jamie Foxx has teamed up with spirits incubator West Brands to launch BSB whiskey, a flavored cinnamon blend. 2 years in the making, the 35% ABV product, which comes in a mate black bottle with glow in the dark logo, combines the aromatic spice of cinnamon with the rich, comforting sweetness of brown sugar. Fox, known for his roles in Ray and Django Unchained, is the brand owner and creative director of BSB. As an avid whiskey drinker, owning a brand that is sippable and unlike any other has been a life goal of mine with BSB. I'm finally making that happen, said Fox. BSB is an odd, no, not odd, excuse me, an OD to my personal philosophy. It's about bringing people together to celebrate life and have fun. Why cinnamon? Last year was a record year for flavored whiskeys. U.S. depletions uh, reached 18.25 million cases in 2023, up from 14 million cases in 2019, said Lauren Kayak, Senior Vice President of Marketing at West Brands. Blended and bottled in Columbia, Tennessee, BSB whiskey is available in limited quantities at select U.S. retailers for the modest price of $24.99 compared to the other celebrity spirits ventures, which have chosen a more premium route, to market. Fox's debut alcohol product is surprisingly affordable. Outlander star Graham McTavish prices his bourbon product, the Ward Chief, at $75 per bottle. Four Walls whiskey by It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia actors Rob L. Henny, Glenn Howerton, and Charlie Duh. Combines Irish whiskey with American rye whiskey and retails for $36.99. Musician Bob Dylan's Heaven's Door Ascension Kentucky Straight Bourbon is marketed at $54.99. Sheesh. In the celebrity tequila category, George Clooney's Casamigos, Dwayne Johnson's Terramana, and Kendall Jenner's 18 bottles go for upwards of $50, $30, and $45 respectively. Though Jenner was forced to lower the price of her 818 range last year following consumer feedback that it was too high. Frappin XO Cognac Rudy Gobert by the NBA's Minnesota Timberwolves player is priced at $249 for 700 milliliters. Wow. All right. West Brands has called BSB whiskey a key priority in its expanding portfolio. With Jamie's creative lead, BSB now sits at the intersection of fashion and sports, a modern tribute to nostalgic tech and delicious flavors, said Kayak. We knew we had an incredible opportunity on our hands. All right. I want to make some noise for Jamie Foxx and, of course, and his business venture into whiskey. So, all right. Up next, um, music artists included into the rock and roll Hall of Fame. All right, Cher, A Tribe Called Quest, Dave Matthews Band, and Mary J. Blige are all getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2024. The other performer inductees are Ozzy Osbourne, Kool and the Gang, Peter Frampton, and Foreigner. This year's Musical Influence Award goes to Alexis Corner, John Mayo, and Big Mama Thornton, while Jimmy Buffett, MC5, Dionne Warwick, and Norman Whitfield will receive the Musical Excellence Award. Additionally, Suzanne D. Passe, um, one of the first leading female executives in the music business and a figure in the Motown scene, will get the Ahmet Ertegun Award. The 2024 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony will air as a special on ABC at a later date and stream on Hulu the day afterward. Cher, Kool and the Gang, Peter Frampton and Foreigner are making the rock and roll after their first nominations. A Tribe Called Quest were nominated twice before this year in 2022 and 2023. Mary J. Blige got a previous nod in 2021. Dave Matthews Band was in the running in 2020. Ozzy Osbourne is technically in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame already, but as a member of Black Sabbath, not as a solo act. The artists who were nominated in 2024 induction but did not make the final cut are Oasis, Sinead O'Connor, Sade, Mariah Carey, and Eric B. and Rakim. Last summer, O'Connor died after a lifetime of serving as inspiration for outspoken artists and finding inner strength. Kate Bush, Missy Elliott, Sheryl Crow, Rage Against the Machine, Willie Nelson, George Michael, and the Spinners were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the class of 2023. That's one fewer performer inductee than this upcoming class. In a statement, Margaret uh, Sadie Kramer, wife of the late MC5 musician Wayne Kramer, said, um, if you knew Wayne over the last half of his life, then you knew he was not one for personal accolades and that it was the intimate conversations with his fellow players about his influence as a musician and activist that had the most profound impact on him. In his heart of hearts, he was kindred to those who had lost everything, then discovered that change was possible in spite of, or perhaps because of, such a struggle. It was a struggle that never stopped informing his work as a band leader, an activist, a father, and especially in the way he made himself available to his fans around the world. Ultimately, this joy belongs to them for screaming from the rooftops, from um, Bilbao to Tokyo, from the basements of London to his beloved Detroit, that MC5 were indeed deserving and that they should be lauded, um, not blacklisted for fighting the power. Yes, it's bittersweet, perhaps even the exact right thing at precisely the wrong time. Yet, I'm certain he would have landed in gratitude for this recognition and received it like the beautiful free radical he was, an underdog victorious. Um, Nina Corcoran joined Pitchfork. Yeah, I'm not even gonna read that one. I'm not even gonna read that one. So congratulations to all the artists that got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. All right, let's go to another person that needs congratulations is SZA. Let's take a look here. SZA reaffirms that in she reaffirms that she's in a league of her own in the R&B world as the hit-making singer songwriter replaces herself at number one on the Billboard Hot R&B Songs charts as Snooze outs her own Kill Bill on the list dated July 29th. Right. Sorry about that. With Snooze, Scissor captures her fourth hot R&B songs number one. She first led with the weekend, a week, a 1 week champ in 2018, and followed with another single week leader, I Hate You, in 2021, and Kill Bill, which dominated for 30 weeks in 2022 and 23. Thanks to the Juggernaut's reign, SZA has ruled the hot R&B songs chart all but 1 week in 2023 thus far, when The Weeknd and Ariana Grande's Die For You remix release pushed the track to the summit for the list dated March 11th. Snooze ascends to number one as radio airplay continues to grow for the song. In the latest track week, July 14th to the 20th, Snooze registered 58.8 million in total audience impressions across all formats. Damn it. Where is it? Up 4% from the prior week, according to Luminate. Thanks to the boost, and single climbs 7 to 6 on the all genre radio songs chart. The track is still tops on its home format as it logs a fifth week at number one on the R&B hip hop airplay chart, and at 19.4 million impressions remains essentially even with the prior week's total. Boy. Okay. In addition to the radio strength, Snooze registered 10.4 million official US streams, a 2% rise from the previous week, and enough to retain its number two rank on R&B streaming songs. For song sales, the track sold another 1,000 downloads, a 3% slide from the prior frame. It holds at number five on R&B digital song sales after having previously reached a number four best. In addition to SZA, Snooze also brings another R&B luminary to the summit, Babyface. The legend is one of five co-writer and four co-producers on the new chart topper. He, Christopher Van Riddick Tynes, Leon Thomas III, and Blair Ferguson all contributed. Excuse me. In both roles, while SZA also shares writing credit. With the new champ, Babyface earns his first writing and producing number ones on the Hot R&B Songs chart, which began in 2012. Prior to the chart's launch, Babyface had a hand in dozens of R&B classics, including hits such as Boys to Men's, End of the Road, and Whitney Houston's Exhale. Elsewhere, Snooze advances 4-3 to a new peak on Hot R&B hip hop songs and repeats at number 12 on the all genre Billboard Hot 100, having previously made it to number 11. All right, hold on a second. I don't know what the hell's going on. I want to actually. Okay. Hold on a sec. Hold on. I want to congratulate SZA for her success and this new song. Give me 1 second. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Hold on. All right. Let's get into Warner Media. Okay, Warner Media. Here we go. Yeah, this is where I left off before the browser basically crashed. So forgive me for the delay. So anyway, so according to Variety, shares of Warner Brothers Discovery slid more than 12% in early trading Thursday to all-time lows after the media conglomerate, heavily reliant on its pay TV business, announced a whopping 9.1 billion write down, reflecting the loss of value it of its linear television networks. Warner Brothers Discovery shares were down as low as $6.73 per share Thursday, coming after the company's second quarter 2024 earnings report after market close. The stock closed August 8th at $7.02 per share, down 9%. The stock's lowest closing price was on June 18th, 2024, when it ended the day at $6.99 per share. Its 52-week low intraday price previously was $6.94 on June 20th. Year to date, Warner Brothers Discovery shares are now down 40%. The work drop wiped out more than $1.6 billion of market value, with Warner Brothers Discovery's market capitalization standing at about $17.2 billion as of close of trading Thursday. That's compared with more than $50 billion more no, excuse me, $50 billion following the closing of Discovery's acquisition of Warner Media in April 2022. When companies are forced to write down goodwill, they reduce that value from their balance sheets and record an expense on their income statement for the loss. Such a move reflects management's acknowledgement that initial projections for investments or acquisitions fell well short of projections. Warner Bros. Discovery said the triggering events for the goodwill impairment for its TV networks in the second quarter of 2024 were uncertainty about NBA rights, which the company is poised to lose starting with the 2025 season, as well as continued softness in the linear ad market. The cratering stock, the disappointing Q2 earnings, the massive debt load, and the company's loss of the NBA will put more pressure on CEO David Zaslav to find a strategy and fast to right the ship. In light of industry headwinds, we have and will continue taking bold steps, like reimagining our existing linear partnerships and pursuing new bundling opportunities with the goal to get Max on the devices of more consumers faster and at a fraction of the acquisition cost, Zaslav Zaslav said in prepared remarks about the Q2 earnings. Last month, Warner Brothers Discovery laid off almost 1,000 employees in a new bid to pare down costs. There could be an M&A event on Warner Brothers Discovery's horizon, similar to the deal Skydance Media negotiated that would see it merge with Paramount Global, which I'll talk about in a future episode. Um, Zaslav, speaking at an investment conference this spring, said Warner Bros. Discovery will be opportunistic in seeking M&A deals in the next 2 or 3 years. There are a lot of players that are losing a lot of money. He said there'll be some players that want to get out of the business that will look to consolidate their streaming businesses with others. At Allen and Cole's retreat last month in Sun Valley, Idaho, Zaslav said he was in favor of whichever presidential candidate could cut through government red tape and ease the way for M&A. We just need an opportunity for deregulation so companies can consolidate and do what we need to be even better, he said. Shit, good luck with that one. Good luck with that shit. Anyway, let me see what else I didn't get a chance to talk about actually. Let's see. I think we should start off with some movie news. Yeah, let's start with the movie news. Let's start off with the movie news right here, man, because I want to get that out the way. Actually. Hold on. It is time for Movie Man Cave Popcorn. All right. Let's do this. All right. So the juice is loose for Beetlejuice. That's been number one for over 2 or 3 weeks now. Let's get into it right here. So, Beetlejuice, aka The Juice is Loose, has been in theaters and according to Deadline, last week's champ and this week's holdover winner, Beetlejuice took in an estimated $28.7 million overseas, keeping the momentum spurred by its recent world premiere in Venice. The offshore drop was 44%, which is good for this sort of title. The international running QMA is $76.3 million. And the worldwide total is currently $264.3 million through Sunday. France was new this season with a number one $4.9 million and above all comps. Germany also gave the Ghost with the most a number one start of $2.3 million. The UK held at number one and is the lead market with $19.1 million, followed by Mexico, $11.1 million, Spain, $5.2 million, France, $4.9 million, and Australia, $4.8 million. IMAX added $4.7 million in the global box office for the second frame, driving the worldwide QMA to $17.6 million. Japan is set to release on September 27th and will be the last overseas market to open. Universal Blumhouse's Speak No Evil started chatting overseas this frame in 73 markets, and with a $9.3 million start. The offshore debut is in line with recent horror comps. UK was the top opener at $1.84 million. The global launch was $20.8 million, continuing to perform in seeming lockstep for every very different genre propositions. Are Columbia Pictures, Wayfarer Studios, It Ends With Us, and 20th Century Studios, Alien Romulus. The former has yet to release in Hong Kong and Japan and is showing strong playability with $7.3 million from 61 markets this session, That brings the QMA to $180.6 million overseas and $325.5 million worldwide. Also, after getting to the 3 century mark last weekend, Alien Romulus is now at $330.7 million global, with $229.4 million coming from international markets. The Fede Alvarez take is still sticking at the top of the charts in China, Japan, and Korea. And what amounted to a $6.3 million overseas frame. The overall overseas drop was 55%. The top five markets to date on Romulus are China, $104.2 million, UK, $16.7 million, Korea, $14.5 million, France, $11.3 million, and Mexico, $8.2 million. Deadpool and Wolverine danced to another $5.7 million internationally this session. That brings the overseas total to $683.5 million, and global to 305 billion dollars. After 8 weekends in worldwide play, the Merc now fronts the 23rd movie ever to cross $1.3 billion. Top 5 markets to date: UK $72.7 million, China $59.6 million, Mexico $43.5 million, Australia $42.5 million, and Germany $38.3 million. Meanwhile, Telepathy, Vijay, starring Tamil, titled "The Greatest of All Time," continued to do strong business around the world with an estimated $49 million global gross. It is the second biggest movie ever for Vijay. China's Stand By Me debuted to $10.3 million at number one. CJENM's crime thriller I, The Executioner, opened to $15.3 million in Korea. 444K, which is 1,000, was in IMAX, marking the 9th best local language debut for the format in the market. Let's see. And of course, Despicable Me 4, 5.6 international weekend, 84 markets, $580.6 million. Q-Main, $940 million global. And can we acknowledge another movie that's also joined the $1 billion club? I didn't get a chance to talk about this prior, involving Inside Out 2. Hang on a second. If I could find it. If I could find that shit. Jeez. I forgot about that shit too. I forgot about that shit though. Hold on a second. Oh man. Just a sec. Yes. Finally, another animated movie, Inside Out 2. Yes. So, all right. So, this is from the folks from Deadline. While the calendar has clicked over to September, summer vibes are still being felt at the global and international box office. In yet another ascent, and on its 12th weekend of release, Disney Pixar's Inside Out 2 has now grossed $1.666 billion globally, overtaking 2019's The Lion King to become the ninth biggest movie ever at the worldwide box office. The Q Thorough Sunday is an estimated 1,600. No, not 1,000. $1,666.2 million. Summer has indeed been good to Disney and its brands, and vice versa, between Pixar's Inside Out 2 and Marvel's Deadpool and Wolverine. Um, this boosts the two biggest movies of the year and the only $1 billion grosses so far. Meanwhile, 20th Century's Alien Romulus is chomping its way to $300 million global. Um, Sony's Wayfarers, It Ends With Us, is headed towards the same milestone, and Illumination Universal's Despicable Me 4 has grooved past the $900 million global mark. Breaking down the weekend, Alien Romulus was the top Hollywood title as the Fede Alvarez directed franchise um, installment gobbled up another $22.6 million overseas in the third frame, taking the international QMA to $194.7 million. Worldwide is at $283.5 million through Sunday. The $283.5 million make Romulus the second biggest in the Alien series globally, the behind Prometheus. Behind only Prometheus. So the offshore drop this session was a strong 46%, while the film held the number one spot again in China, where audiences have devoured it. The QMA there is $92.7 million. The Mayoyan is currently forecasting of $110.7 million finish, slightly lower than where the ticketing site had it last weekend. Regardless, it's had a terrific run in the market, which is sharply down overall versus last summer. Rounding out the top five plays so far are the UK, $14.1 million, Korea, 12.6 million, France, 9.4 million, and Mexico, $7.1 million. The IMAX QMA is $37.2 million, becoming the format's highest grossing horror title ever. Romulus still has Japan to come next weekend. Um, Next weekend. Let's see. Wait, yeah, Columbia Pictures, Wayfarer Studios, It Ends With Us is similarly nearing the $300 million mark globally with a $283.7 million made through Sunday. Overseas accounts for $150 million of that after a $15.8 million weekend. The slide in the fourth frame internationally was just 32%. Currently playing in 50 offshore markets. The Blake Lively star was number one in 22 and number two in 17. Tops to date are the UK $24.2 million, Australia $13.1 million, Mexico $12.6 million, Germany $11.9 million, and Brazil $9.1 million. Still to come on the Phenom are Denmark, Singapore, Korea, and Hong Kong in September, and Japan in November. In weekend 6, Marvel Disney's Deadpool and Wolverine added $13.9 million from international markets for an overseas QMA of $658.4 million and a globally tally of 1.20 $1.258 billion. It is now the number 7 MCU release of all time worldwide. Still rocking at number 1 in Australia, among a few other markets. The Ryan Reynolds Hugh Jackman star dipped by just 34% from last session. Internationally, D and W is the number 10 MCU release ever. Through Sunday, the top 5 are UK $70 million, China $59.2 million, Mexico $43.1 million, Australia $40.5 million, Germany $35.4 million. In IMAX, the total is $84 million global. And of course, all that other stuff. I'm not even gonna get into all this shit though. So there it is. So congratulations to Inside Out 2 for joining the $1 billion club. All right. So I want to go over the highlights from CinemaCon. From CinemaCon. I want to go over the highlights from CinemaCon if I could find it. Let's see if I could find it. If I could find that shit. Hold on a sec. All right, here's some highlights. All right, so this is from IndieWire. We're leaving Las Vegas. CinemaCon is over. Time for studios to go out and prove their pitches at the box office based on what we saw or really what we didn't see. That will be an uphill battle. First, let's take a moment to appreciate the folks in films that showed up. Arguably, the biggest star to attend CinemaCon was Kevin Costner. The cynical point of view, he was pitching not one but 2 Horizon films to theater owners and simultaneously pitching 3rd and 4th installments to Warner Brothers. Plus, Costner received a trophy, the CinemaCon Visionary Award, for which WB execs shooed him off stage just to call him back up. Kind of silly. Speaking of Warner Brothers execs and no shows, if David Zaslav was in town, he didn't come on stage. Jeff Goldblum did, as did his fellow Wicked co-stars Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, and Michelle Yeoh. Chris Hemsworth was in attendance to promote 2 films, Furiosa and Transformers 1, which I'll talk about that next week. Same with Lupita and Nyong'o, the wild robot, and A Quiet Place Day One. Dwayne Johnson showed up for Moana 2. He's always a gamer. Anna Taylor Joy came. Um, hold on a second. Yeah, Anna Taylor. Hold up. Yeah, and hold on a minute. Anna Taylor Joy came along with up and comer Ariana Greenblatt, Amy Fowler, Brian Tyree Henry, Glenn Powell, Henry Cavill, Halle Berry, etc. Kudos to them. And shout out to Lionsgate Motion Picture Group Chairman Adam Fogelson, who surprisingly may have gotten the most laughs of all the week. Folks like James Gunn, Jack Black, Mark Wahlberg, James McAvoy, Ridley Scott, John Krasinski, Ryan Coogler, and Michael B. Jordan, and others sent their regards via video or an on-stage surrogate. We're not hating on this group. More stars didn't send messages than did. Keanu Reeves would have been a big hit after pulling double duty on the big screen as an angel in Aziz Ansari's Good Fortune and for reprising his role as John Wick in Ballerina. Jason Blum, who almost never misses CinemaCon, was a surprise no-show and missed out on personally announcing Five Nights at Freddy's 2, in addition to other Blumhouse positioning. Sorry for calling names. Everyone's got their own things, and this year there's more of a legitimate excuse to politely decline. The 2023 writers and actors strikes created even more 2024 scheduling difficulties than a typical year. So some of these people are actually still finishing their movies. Warner Brothers ended its presentation with a reel of all its talent on set right now, as if just to prove it. We didn't count, but anecdotally, it felt like this year's CinemaCon featured fewer clips as well. A lot of what we got: Michael Ballerina, The Amateur, Mickey 17, or Angel Studios David will wait for 2025. Even AMC CEO Adam Aron, who appeared on a Wednesday panel discussion with Puck's Matt Belloni, said it's the 25 and 26 slates, not 2024s, that could make for a $10 billion year. We also didn't get much free swag this time around. It's less for us to pack for home, but another sign of the times. One exhibitor we spoke with saw it as a sign of necessary frugality at the studios. As much as the famous faces and the giveaways can help the assignment, it is the films that still define CinemaCon. In recent years, the hype has made it feel more like Comic-Con. Not this year. The screening of Universal's The Fall Guy opened CinemaCon 2024, and though the crowd loved Ryan Gosling and company, critics had already seen it at South by Southwest. Neon's Babes was screened on Wednesday night to a half-empty Coliseum, though we heard a lot of belly laughs from those who were there. There were the requisite trailers, Twisters, Joker 2, Good Fortune, Gladiator 2, sneak peeks, Furiosa, Michael, Wicked, but outside of Disney, which screened 75 minutes of footage, including 35 minutes from Inside Out 2. We got fewer extended chunks of films than normal. Again, that could definitely be a backlog production issue. Jeez, man. All right, so CinemaCon was pretty okay. I actually saw some YouTubers talked about it, so I'm not gonna read all this though. So I'm gonna go on to the next one. Go on to the next one. Actually, let me see what I missed. Let me see. Let me see. What did I miss? Shit. Let's see. Oh, damn. Essence Fest. I'm gonna have to save that topic for another time, man. Um, I'm gonna have to save that topic for another time, though, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to get to X-Men '97. I want to get to X-Men '97. I want to get that out the way. Um, yeah, let's get to X-Men '97. Um, Hold on a minute here. All right. Time for some TV show checkouts. Well, all I know a lot of you are X-Men fanatics, and since there was already a season one of X-Men already, it got renewed for season two, but um, unfortunately, it got delayed. So, and of course, for X-Men, so cartoon series X-Men makes its return to TV. So I'll talk about that as well. I'll talk about that as well. Um, so let's get into it right here. Hold up. Hold up. Okay. All right, I could do this. So, and this is according to Superhero Hype. Amidst the controversy surrounding series creator Bo DeMayo's firing from X Men '97, recent reports claim that the release date for the sophomore season has been pushed to 2026. X Men '97, which serves as a revival of X Men, the animated series that um, came out between 1992 to 1997, premiered on Disney Plus on March 20th, 2024, and was received well by both the critics and the general audience. Accordingly, this report, if true, is bound to disappoint the fans. X-Men '97 season 2 release date reportedly delayed for rewrites. X-Men '97 season 2 will not come out until 2026, according to a report by Nexus Point News. The outlet cited sources to claim that the story and scripts were undergoing rewrites, resulting in the delay. Damn, son. Damn. That's crazy. Okay. Um. So Nexus Point News previously broke the news about Josh Brolin being courted by the DCU to join the cast of the Lantern series. Back in July 2022, X-Men 97 had already been confirmed for season 2. A year later, DeMayo revealed that they were writing the finale of the second season. Production is going really, really well, he said. We're just in post-production on season 1 and right now writing the finale for season 2. I cannot be happier, he added. DeMayo completed writing season 2 in March 2024. However, Marvel Studios fired him ahead of the series premiere, and since then, both sides have put forth their sides of the issue. At present, season 2 is in production. Multiple voice actors, including Ross Marquand, who voices Professor X, have announced that they have wrapped recording for season 2. If the news of the delay is true, it's unclear whether Marvel's decision to do so has any connection to the DeMayo controversy. The studio brought in Matthew Chauncey, who has previously worked on What If, to replace DeMayo as the writer for the third season, which is currently in development. It's also unclear what role, if any, Chauncey will play in the season 2 rewritings. So, all right, there you have it right there. So that's crazy right there. So, um, another TV show checkout. Melrose Place is getting a reboot. According to Deadline, the cast of Melrose Place, which reunited for the first time in years, teased the status of the series' upcoming revival on a panel at 90s Con Florida held in Daytona Beach September 14th. Everyone has agreed to do it. Star Daphne Zuniga said via People, Laura and I worked on this for a little bit now. It is in talks, business affairs, and lawyers, and all those types are talking about it, and they do want to do it. Joined by fellow castmates Heather Locklear, Josie Bissett, Brooke Langton, Laura Langton, and Grant Shaw. Zuniga added that they are waiting for the folks to go through. Her colleague Langton added that there were many moving parts and pieces. The stars need to align, but we want it as much as the fans want it, she said. In April, Deadline exclusively reported that a revival was in the works for the 1990s soapy drama set at a West Hollywood residential complex at the time. Locklear, Langton, and Zuniga were attached to Star, and the project was announced as in development at CBS Studios, being shopped to networks and streamers, including original series Home Fox. Originated by Darren Star, the sequel, hailing from Insati insatiable creator Lauren Gustis, would pick up years later following the death of one of the OG residents of Melrose Place. As the characters gather to mourn the reunion's, tensions bring to the surface old wounds, romances, resentments, and secrets. The log line describes a chaotic drama that's reminiscent of the past, but with a much more modern perspective. A spin-off of Beverly Hills 90210, Melrose Place, which ran for 7 seasons from 1992 to 99, was produced by Aaron Spelling Television for Fox. The soap followed the melodramatic lives of a group of people in their 20s sharing an apartment complex on Melrose Place in Los Angeles. Though a short-lived CBS Studios CW revival came to fruition in 2009 following a new group living at Melrose Place. Uh, um, Langton said the reboot would draw from the mothership show. The idea is what happens to these people 30 years later, she explained. There's all these fan stories, all these great conspiracies, and those are just wonderfully creative ideas, an example of everybody's interest in where they would be. We were such an easy group of people. We loved each other then. We can't think of anything better than to come back together and tell a new story soon. Let's see. Let's see another TV news. We gotta talk about some renewals. We gotta talk about some renewals. Um, yeah, we gotta talk about some renewals and stuff. Um, so Elsbeth, Elsbeth, um, got a renewal for season two. The news comes after the freshman series has aired just 4 episodes, with the fifth set to air on April 18th. It was originally ordered to series at CBS in May 2023, but did not debut until February 2024 after production was impacted by the stupid fucking strikes that shut down much of Hollywood in 2023. Carrie Preston stars in the series as Elsbeth um, Tassioni, reprising the role she previously played on both The Good Wife and The Good Fight. In the series, Elsbeth leaves Chicago and heads to New York to work as an investigator alongside the police. The cast also includes Wendell Pierce and Cara Patterson. Elsbeth has charmed audiences with its singular blend of delightful humor, distinctive how done it storytelling, 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 and the inventive, brilliant quirkiness of Elsbeth Tassioni, said Amy uh, Reisenbach, president of CBS Entertainment. Executive producers Robert and Michelle King have a stellar track record for creating critically acclaimed series full of unforgettable characters, and alongside showrunner Jonathan Tollins and his writing team have developed an incredibly entertaining and engrossing New York City centric world for the show to explore. We are grateful to the uniquely talented cast led by Carrie Preston, Wendell Pierce, and Cara Patterson for bringing these wonderful characters to life in the company of a world class roster of weekly guest stars. Um, CBS Elsbeth is averaging 11 million viewers per episode in live plus 35 multi-platform viewing. In the Nielsen most current data, the show is averaging approximately 7.3 million viewers an episode on linear. Robin and Michelle King created Elsbeth and served as executive producers via King Size Productions. Jonathan Tollins is the showrunner and executive producer. Liz Glotzer of King Size, Erica Shelton Kaddish, and Brian Goluboff also executive produce. CBS Studios, where King Size is under an overall deal, is the studio. The series is distributed by Paramount Global Content Distribution. All right. All right, on to also in X-Men 97 news, it also got greenlit for season 3. Yes. It also got greenlit for season 3. Season 3 is also in development. So I'm not yeah, it's in development and stuff. So I forgot to mention that. And you can catch X-Men 97 on streaming on Disney Plus right now. Um All right. So let's get into, let me see, some TV renewals we got to get to. Let's see. Let's see. All right. So before I get to that, there's a docuseries um, down in the valley. Oh boy. Sheesh. Down in the valley. Starz is moving up the premiere date for its latest docuseries Down in the Valley. In a very selective way, the first episode of P Valley inspired series will now be available to watch on Friday on the Starz app rather than the previous announced July 5th debut. So you can check that out for yourself. This is basically hosted and executive produced by Nico Annan, best known as Uncle Clifford in Stars, is a critically acclaimed P Valley. 6 episode half-hour docuseries will follow Annan as he explores the people, sensuality, music, culture, and stories of the South. The show teases everything from strip clubs and sex workshops to ancient hoodoo rituals. Oh shit. Oh shit. The series confronts uncomfortable truths. Oh shit. Challenges societal norms and advocates for a more inclusive and enlightened future. A press release reads. Um all right. You can check that out. You can check it out on you can check that out on the Starz app. So I'm not even gonna go there on that one. So I'm not gonna stay too long on this one right there. So you can check that out on Starz. Um all right, let's get to some renewals of TV shows, shall we? Let me see how much time we got. $207. All right, so let's get to the renewals and stuff. So let's take a look at some TV shows that got renewed. All right, so a list of TV shows that got renewed. All right, so let's get into it right here, right now. All right, so starting with ABC. So 911 renewed for season 8, Abbott Elementary renewed for season 4, Bachelor in Paradise renewed for season 10, Celebrity Family Feud renewed for season 10. Um, wait, wait. Yeah, yes. This is right. Grey's Anatomy renewed for season 21, Jeopardy Masters renewed for season 2, Invasion renewed for season 3, Tamron Hall renewed for season 6, The Good Doctor ending after season 7, The Rookie renewed for season 7, Will Trent renewed for season 3, AMC Interview with the Vampire renewed for season 3, The Terror renewed for season 3, Apple TV, Camp Snoopy renewed for season 2, For All Mankind renewed for season 5, Hijack renewed for season 2, Loot renewed for season 3, Palm Royale renewed for season 2, Presumed Innocent renewed for season 2, Shmigadoon canceled after season 2, Slow Horse renewed for season 5, Still Up canceled after season 1, The Completely Made Up Adventures of Dick Turpin, renewed for season 2, Time Bandits, um canceled, Time Bandits canceled for after season 1. Bravo Below Deck renewed for season 12, Married to Medicine renewed for season 11, Top Chef renewed for season 22, Southern Charm renewed for season 10, Southern Hospitality renewed for season 3, Summer House renewed for season 9, The Housewives franchise got renewed for their seasons. The Valley renewed for season 3. Um, CBS includes CSI Vegas canceled after season 3. Elsbeth renewed for season 2. FBI, FBI International, and FBI Most Wanted got renewed for their seasons. Fire Country renewed for season 3. Ghosts renewed for season 4. NCIS Hawaii got canceled. NCIS Sydney renewed for season 2. So Help Me Todd canceled after season 2. SWAT renewed for season 8. Drew Barrymore Show renewed for season 5. Equalizer renewed for season 5. The Neighborhood renewed for season 7. Young and Restless renewed for 4 seasons. Tracker renewed for season 2. CW All American renewed for season 7. All American Homecoming canceled after season 3. Sullivan's Crossing renewed for season 2. It's going to be coming out. The season 2 for Sullivan's Crossing is coming out maybe next week. Check your local listings. Superman and Lois renewed for season 4. Walker canceled after season 4. Wild Cards renewed for season 2. Disney Plus, American Born Chinese canceled after season 1. Ashoka renewed for season 2. The Acolyte canceled after season 1. A Real Bug's Life renewed for season 2. Goosebumps renewed for season 2. Limitless with Chris Hemsworth renewed for season 2. Percy Jackson and the Olympians renewed for season 2. Renegade Nell canceled after season 1. Secrets of Sulphur Springs canceled after season 3. House of Villains renewed for season 2. Now we go to Foxx. 911 Lone Star ending after season 5. Animal Control renewed for season 3. Crime Scene Kitchen renewed for season 3. The Jennifer Hudson Show renewed for season 3. Congratulations. The Cleaning Lady renewed for season 4. The Floor renewed for seasons 2 and 3. Pictionary, along with 25 Words or Less, and Person, Place, a Thing got renewed for their seasons on Fox. Dave is on pause after season 3. Hallmark The Way Home renewed for season 3. HBO House of the Dragon Industry renewed for season 4. Somebody Somewhere canceled after season 3. True Detective renewed for season 5. Hulu Death and Other Details canceled. Only Murders in the Building renewed for season 5. The Full canceled. The Emilio Show canceled after season 3. The Kardashians renewed for season 6 and 7. Vanderpump Villa renewed for season 2. Max Bookie renewed for season 2. Julius canceled. Alpha Means Death. Pretty Little Liars. Rap Shit. Girls on the Bus. The Flight Attendant canceled. NBC Chicago Mad Fire PC got renewed for their seasons. Extended Family canceled. Law and Order SVU renewed for their seasons. Lopez versus Lopez renewed for season 3. Night Court renewed for season 3. Netflix Avatar The Last Airbender renewed. Breakpoint canceled after season 2. Emily in Paris renewed for season 5. And you know what? I'll save the rest for next time. All right, I'm gonna save the rest for next time, because I want to actually get this over with. Right. So, let me see. Fun activities to do for the weekend, man. All right, so fun activities to do for the weekend. So let me just fast forward to some fun activities to do for the weekend. All right, hold on a second. All right. All right. All right. Let me see this. Um all right, hold on. Um okay. Time for a little thing that I like to call remains to be seen. And there's a there is a event that you should check out in Yonkers. So let's get into it right here. Are you looking for some fun activities to do for the weekend? Let me start you off with an event that's going down in Yonkers. So, October 5th, there is a Yonkers comic book cosplay convention. So, so this is basically um an event that is committed to making our community the new incubator for creative talent in the comic book and cosplay industries. It is our mission to provide a safe, all inclusive, and family friendly annual venue that assembles the largest gathering of comic book artists, cosplay creators, and fans that the city of Yonkers, New York, has ever experienced. Um, they also have it also takes place at the Yonkers Riverfront Library schedule of events. Also, you could actually get it too. Um, all right, let's see. So they also have talk show style symposium. They have Creators Choice Award. There's cosplay fashion show, cosplay and walk the runway October 5th. There's also, let me see what else they have included. Yonkers Legoland Discovery, Vendors Alley, the video game Cave, tabletop games and demos. So, if you want to check out this event, all you need to do is actually register for Yonkers Comic Con and also check out for more information whether they have tickets available, whatever it may be. So check that out. All right. So um another place I should remind everybody in regards to an event has to do, and I did mention this in a previous episode actually involving Comic-Con in New York. So what you want to do is let me see if I can find it. If I can find that shit though. Hold on. Okay. What you want to do is go ahead to their website, buy the tickets at New York Comic Con, which takes place. Let me see. Let me check out the dates. Let me check out the dates actually. So, um, let me check out the dates though. Where's the dates? So, let me see. Let me see. So, let me see. So, you might want to check out the dates actually. So, what is it? It's October the 7th through the 20th, 2024 at the Javits Center. So you can check out the general admissions, $75, and other stuff that's already sold out. Don't worry, there's other options for that. So let's get into it right here. And let me see if I can hurry up. with this shit. Trying to get up out of here. Anyway, let me do this. Let me do this. Let's see. All right, so for the people that are in Los Angeles, this is from timeout.com. You can check out the website, www.timeout.com. Let me put that up. Yes, timeout.com is where you can actually look up your area where you live. There's categories, things to do. Let me just go over some stuff, man. So for Los Angeles, you have the Ahana Festival. You have Orville Peck, Knights of the Jack. You have Harry's Berry's dinner at AOC Brentwood. You have you have Air Family Style Fest, Mitski Not Scary Farm, Perfect Genius. There's let me see what else is fun. The other art fair, you have Beer Badubi, which is on Saturday, September 28th. You can check that out. Check that out as well. Let's see. Let me see. And I think that's it for Los Angeles. I'm about to go to New York. All right, so I have to go to New York actually. So the weekend for New York, let's check this out. Atlantic Antic, you have let me see, let me look for some fun stuff, not anything boring. So you have the Blocktoberfest, which is taking place on September 29th. Bagel Fest takes place on Saturday, September 28th. You check that out. Boo at the Zoo, which is September 28th through October 27th. Be sure to check that out. Let's see. Blood Manor, you have the Power Broker exhibit at New York Historical Society. Then you have All Things Go Music Festival. You have, let me see. Let me just make sure I hurry up. Brooklyn Book Festival. The Affordable Art Fair. There's Global Citizen Festival in Central Park. The Amazing Maze. Nightmare Before Christmas Light Trail at NYBG. I'm not even gonna go to let me see. Jimmy Fallon's Tonightmares. Oh shit. Oh man. The Great Jack O'Lantern Blaze. You have the Map of Irish Art Center, and of course Stadium Chef Series. You can find these events at www.timeout.com. All that great stuff. If you're in Chicago, London, Los Angeles, Californians, New Yorkers, if you're in New York in the neck of the woods of the five boroughs in Long Island, you can check out these events at timeout.com, www.timeout.com. All right. All right, now that I got that out the way, let me see how much time we got, man. Let me see how much time we got so I can get up out of here. All right, let's wrap up here. We're gonna wrap up right here, man, because I gotta get up early. So anyway, anyway, all right, time for stream choices on the go. This is where I inform you where you can follow the podcast, where you can actually listen to all that great stuff right there. With with all the with all the stream platforms that I'm going to mention. So here it is. Stream choices on the go. Let me just get there. Hold on. I just get there. Come on. Oh, I'm gonna just get there. I'll get there. Don't worry. Okay. Here it is. All right, make sure you follow Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast, not only on Facebook but also on Threads, along with my other podcast shows that I do. That's also on Threads, along with myself, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, my sports platform, my entertainment review show, which is Meticulous Beetlejuice podcast, alongside myself, G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. It's also on Instagram as well. And you can go to the link in bio, Linktree/G Money Stacks 555 for links to streaming platforms where you can listen to episodes and new episodes. In case you miss any of them, don't worry. All right, so let me start off with Odyssey, Audible, Audioburst, Amazon Music, Breaker, Bullhorn FM, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Overall FM Podcast, Player FM Podcast, Podbay, Podfriend, Podhound, Podopolo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, Podvine, Snip, Spotify for podcasters, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Fountain, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, the #1 app where you can listen to music, radio, and podcast episodes for free. You don't need a debit card or credit card to download iHeartRadio. All you need to do is subscribe to iHeartRadio and streaming platforms that I just mentioned. You can also download it to your phones, iPhones, Androids, iPads, Android tablets, laptops, includes Apple, Dell laptops. And do the same with YouTube. Make sure you go ahead and grab that subscribe button for me on the YouTube channel page, G Money Stacks 555, for more live video podcast episodes, and to be notified when I'll be on the air via live stream doing a recording of each podcast episode. And don't forget to leave a like, a comment in the comment section. Along with the topics, tell me how you feel about the topics in today's episode. And of course, make sure you share the video, share the podcast. Be sure you listen, stream, watch, add the podcast to your playlist, and enable alerts for new episodes dropping, which is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I will be dropping 3 episodes when I get back from work. So you can share the podcast along with my link tree with the links to streaming platforms with your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, the people you're cool with from work, and all the great stuff right there. So that's gonna do it for me, man. I'm your man G Money Stacks, aka the Gregoneer. Thank you very much for listening to the 52nd episode of Off the Meat Rack Chainz New York Avenue podcast. You could have listened to any podcast in the world, but you chose to listen to this New York Avenue podcast platform right here. Remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you have to work hard and earn it. Also, be sure to find something, find your niche, your talent, your skills, that makes you happy creatively, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Being on your P's and Q's on the type of craft that you're doing that gets you into your zone alongside with tunnel vision. Also remember, there's no manual when it comes to having a path and journey. And also there's no manual for your path and journey. So also you might want to be able to bet on yourself, man, especially creatively. Do what makes you happy, all that great stuff right there. Don't let anybody stop you whatsoever. I'll explain the phrase bet on myself in a future episode when I try to do a little review on Lotto Universal in the future. I don't know when exactly, but anyway, man. I appreciate every single one of you. We're about to reach the 4th anniversary in November, so we're about a month away. So fingers crossed, all that great stuff. Yeah, that's it, man. I'll see y'all next time on the flip side with another episode and all that great stuff. Peace and one love. I appreciate you for taking the time to listen, streaming, and watching the episodes on YouTube. Of course, make sure you subscribe to my other YouTube channels, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks Podcast, my sports YouTube channel page, and Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, my entertainment review show on YouTube as well. So make sure you subscribe to both of those YouTube channels right there. Peace and one love. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your week and enjoy your weekend. Be safe out there and bet on yourself, man. Do what makes you happy, man. Take care. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Good night, everybody.